Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Sodip Phuyal and today I am here to talk about negotiation, which is our second assignment. My student ID is 18425052. Our topic is negotiation. In business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. As we all know, negotiation is a two-way process where both parties compromise or sacrifice something in order to get something else what they need most. Negotiation play a vital role in our life. For example, while we go to market, we bargain, we try to negotiate the price and then we buy it. Negotiation helps to solve the issue while avoiding dispute and argument. And moving on to my next slide is nature of negotiation, where I have listed 5 points. As we all know, negotiation requires involvement of two parties. However, negotiation is a process, it is not an event. To get the negotiation done, both parties should be flexible and be supportive to get the deal done. And a good negotiator must have effective communication and convincing power to get the deal done, to get the negotiation done. And the last one is win-win situation for both parties. As you all know, negotiation a good negotiator must create win-win situation for both parties to get the deal done. And moving up to the next slide is 3 P's of negotiation. Like P of marketing, essential of negotiation are the 3 P's of negotiation. The first point is preparation. A good negotiator must prepare his or herself before attending any negotiation meeting and try to figure out what should be done or what should not be done. And the next topic is personality. Personality reflects yourself. Where a good negotiator must have convincing power and effective communication skills, which can influence all the party and get the deal done. And the last one is plan. A good negotiator must have vision and maintain good plan to get that thing done and to move ahead. And moving up to my second last slide is a process of negotiation. The first one is whatever in this case is first party offer second party or share his or her idea to the next party, and the next one is counter offer where second party accept or deny is offered, and the third one is compromise where both parties compromise or sacrifice something in order to get something what they want most, and the last one is argument. As we all know, negotiation is a win-win situation for both parties while avoiding dispute and conflict, and at the end of the negotiation both parties came to the best idea which is suitable for them, and the agreement is done while avoiding dispute and argument. And the last one is example of negotiation. Back in 2011, Apple claimed that Samsung has copied its features, which results significant loss of Apple. But Samsung claimed that their consumer buy their product looking their larger screen and cheaper price. Later in May 2012, Apple CEO Tim Cook and Samsung CEO Ji Song meet in California to meet a negotiation, but they failed. And later Apple claimed that Samsung had to pay a large amount of money to Apple, where Samsung recycled that claim. At the end of 2018, Azuri ordered Samsung to pay 539 million for copying Apple feature. This is what happened when negotiation fails. This is my time. Now my friend Subhanu will continue from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudip. My name is Subhanu, Khanal, and my student ID is 1845128. And now I'd like to resume the presentation. Now I'd like to actually move to talking about the necessary skills of negotiators that makes them a good negotiator, which are managing complexity, managing internal and external constraints, anticipating conflict, managing diversity, and knowing one's bargaining approach and partner. We we move on to the next slide, when we talk about managing complexity. When we actually look at managing complexity, one of the finest models that can actually perfectly illustrate the complexities involved in any negotiation is what's known as the business dilemma, which was actually developed by Professors Merrill Flood and Melvin Drescher. And in the next slide, we can actually see the model in operation, where you actually have country A and country B that can either choose to be at peace with each other or choose to be at war with each other. And if we actually look at their choices, there are 4 choices, and the 4 choices have their corresponding consequences. So if country A chooses peace and country B chooses peace, they both have a multiplied GDP of 100. And if both countries choose war, they have a multiplied GDP of 80 each. But if country A chooses peace and country B chooses war, there is the risk of country B invading country A. And if the situation is reversed, where country A chooses war and country B chooses peace, there is the risk of country A actually invading country B. So this perfectly explains how the decision-making process out here is interdependent, meaning that country A has to actually look at what country B is doing before it actually makes a decision on whether to choose war or peace. So that is a very important element of negotiation, that is to understand the complexities and the interdependencies involved in the process. And the next topic would be managing internal and external constraints. When we talk about negotiating issues, major global issues, global business international issues, there are internal and the external environment that any business organization has to actually deal with. The internal environment would actually include a business's organizational structure, its home country, its community and its government, while the external environment would actually include the external world or the international world that it actually has to deal with. And a perfect case in point where internal and external constraints are involved, and what the mismanagement of it can do is the European Commission deal, where Britain is trying to negotiate a Brexit or an exit from the European Commission. And you have Theresa May trying to actually hash a deal by making sure that both her parliament, which is her internal environment, and the European Commission, which is her external environment, come to an agreement which would actually then pave a way towards Britain exiting the European Union in a good way. But this so far has not happened, and Theresa May is actually struggling with it. And moving on, now we actually talk about anticipating conflicts. So traditionally, conflict was supposed to be seen as this thing that has to be avoided because it promoted a kind of a discord among people and organizations within an organization. But now, in this age of disruptive technology, conflict is actually seen as a positive force that promotes innovation within business organizations. And then there are certain corporations that actually invite and promote conflict within their organizations to actually ensure innovation takes place. And examples of such corporations are Google, Apple, and Alibaba. Moving on to embracing diversity, since we're talking about international business negotiation, which requires negotiators negotiating with people from different cultural backgrounds, this requires a negotiator to have a keen understanding of the different cultural backgrounds that all negotiators come from. And a very good model that can be used to actually understand different cultures is the model that was proposed by Bert Hofstede, which is known as the cultural dimensions model, which has certain elements of power distance and of orientation and other things that helps explain the different aspects of different cultures to a negotiator. And an example out here is being produced for an understanding of the Thai culture. And moving on, we talk about knowing one's bargaining approaching partner, which is something that my friend Robin will explain. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subhanu. My name is Rabin Lama, and my student ID is 18425056. Now, in this presentation, I'll be talking about knowing one's bargaining approach and partner, and two different negotiation approaches. The first one is distributed bargaining. Distributed bargaining is a type of approach in which one party loses and another party wins. Here, an example for this type of approach is US's President Donald Trump imposed tariffs on China's steel and aluminum, which made a huge loss for the exporters of China. And secondly, in this case, the best alternative to find on negotiated matter is partner. It is a term coined by Roger Fisher and William Ware in the book Get It US. So this basically means that we should find the best alternative when the negotiation fails. Secondly, now the second approach for the negotiation is integrated negotiation. In this type of approach, both parties has a favorable win-win situation. Here, example for this type of integrated bargaining approach is a business joint venture like Maruti Suzuki, which operates throughout Asia. They are in very much profitable state, and they will sell vehicles. Next slide. So coming up to the conclusion, a good negotiator should possess various skills to make a negotiation happen. So for a good negotiator, international business negotiation is also a key aspect for him to have. Following are the points he should impose. The first one is the ability to anticipate a conflict. A good negotiator should have the ability to look out for a conflict and manage them accordingly. The next point is the ability to manage internal and external constraints. He should be a person who looks in the internal matters of a company as well as the outer scenario. The third one is to manage the complexity. During the time of negotiation, there may occur a difficult and hard situation in the company. So a good negotiator should play a role for managing these complexities. The fourth one is the ability to embrace cultural diversity. So this generally means that a good negotiator should embrace people from different diversity, so that they could make good conversation and establish a good negotiation, which will be profitable for the company. The next point is to disciplines the right bargaining approach in right situation. This means that the good negotiator should make the bargaining approach in right time whenever necessary. The last point is the understanding of one's partner in the event of deal fails. Whenever a deal fails, the responsibility of a good negotiator should be to find the best alternative rather than breaking the deal. So finally, comparing these skills for a good negotiator cannot be compared to the day-to-day small negotiating skills by a common man. So negotiators should have proper skills for them. Thank you.